This is Michiana's breaking news and weather station. MNC. On News Talk 95.3, 101.9 FM, and 1340 AM, your MNC Nation station.
Good morning and welcome to Monday. I'm John Zimney in the MNC News Center. It is June the 10th, 2024. And the news getting started now with our top local stories on Michiana's Morning News. One of 5 Goshen Community School candidates has pleaded guilty to election fraud.
Jose Elizalde is the first of the 5 to plead guilty to fraud stemming from the 2022 school board elections. The 5 are charged with filing a fraudulent report and accepting a contribution made in another's name after allegedly filing fraudulent campaign finance reports. The plea agreement is for filing a fraudulent report with the second count, reckless contributions to a campaign, dropped. The plea has not yet been accepted by the court, but it includes a year at the Elkhart County Jail, suspended on reporting probation. Alyssa Foster, MNC News.
News at 5 o'clock is powered by Burkholder Buildings and Supply. If it can be built in an office, a farm, or anywhere else, Burkholder is the highest quality for any need. Burkholder Buildings and Supply can help. Call today. A Goshen man's pleaded guilty to causing death while operating a vehicle with a controlled substance. Happened back in May of 2022. The Goshen News says 37-year-old Douglas Hoff was driving on County Road 4 when he turned onto Packard Drive and into the path of a motorcycle driven by Justin Bowen of Shipshawana. Bowen was pronounced dead at the scene, and lab testing showed cocaine in Hoff's system. His sentencing is scheduled for July. The city of Elkhart's disabled comments on its Facebook page. Councilman Aaron Mishler posted a statement saying it was because of continued harassment of city staff and various comments. He adds it got to the level where they were so concerned about people's safety. City officials say they're not looking to silence anybody, but they want to keep the online environment safe for everybody. The Better Business Bureau says you need to be careful of text scams, as scammers now seem to be using new technology.
They say because most scammers use phishing tactics, reports indicate another record year is likely. Some red flags to watch for in phishing scams include claims about problems with an account, attempts to confirm financial information, requests to click links, and typo-filled messages. The BBB says to protect yourself, don't click on links in unexpected emails or texts, don't open anything from an anonymous sender, and ignore calls for immediate action. Mike Wilson, MNC News.
Turning to the 95.3 MNC follow-up file, more information about how Indiana ranks high on the list of states with the highest rate of rehab facilities.
More than 60% of Indiana's rehab treatment centers are ranked at 4.5 or higher. That places the Hoosier State 4th on the list, according to research from Addiction Treatment Magazine, using Google data to analyze the number of facilities in each state and their rankings. Only California, Texas, and Florida ranked higher, with Minnesota coming in last. Tommy Lee, MNC News.
And another sign of spring and summer is the city of South Bend will begin flushing out fire hydrants this week as part of routine maintenance. They'll begin around the area of Olive Street, north and south of Sample. Flushing will continue through the month of October. And during flushing, residents should know that tap water may appear red or brown, but can be cleared quickly by running cold water faucets at full steam. A Michigan school shooter is appealing his life sentence.
Ethan Crumbly pleaded guilty to a host of charges after murdering 4 of his classmates in a 2021 mass shooting at his Oxford high school when he was 15 years old. In December, he was sentenced to life without parole. Crumbly is now 18. His lawyers announced Friday they filed an appeal to his sentence, arguing several witnesses could have testified about the teen's troubled childhood and his mother's alcohol abuse. They argue it raises questions over whether Crumbly knew what he was doing at the time of the killing spree. Tom Graham, Fox News.
And from the health news file this morning, a new study says 70% of parents are more worried about their children's mental health or their physical well-being.
Nearly half of families polled say social media is impacting their children's development from body image to self-perception. Associate Vice President and Deputy Chief Psychiatric Officer for CVS Health, Dr. Deborah Fernandez-Turner, said young people are facing numerous challenges that are leading to climbing rates of depression, anxiety, and thoughts of suicide, and says help for parents and kids is available.
If somebody is struggling and needing support, some of the best things to do is to work with your primary care doctor or remember to work with your employee assistance program. It is really a great way to get support.
According to the survey, more than a third of adults have started to turn off notifications for social media apps and are attempting to spend less time on social media.
And that's Terry D. reporting. South Bend police are investigating fights that broke out after a high school graduation at Notre Dame. It happened early Friday night when a verbal altercation occurred as families were leaving Washington High School's ceremony at the Compton Family Ice Arena. Officers quickly intervened, but then a second fight erupted outside, escalating to physical violence. Notre Dame police called for backup from South Bend police, but by the time they got there, the crowd had cleared. No arrests have been announced. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer has sent a letter to President Biden asking for a major disaster declaration.
She's also asking for activation of federal individual assistance programs for Branch, Cassidy, St. Joseph, and Kalamazoo counties. It's all in response to the 4 tornadoes that caused destruction to the area on May 7th. 16 injuries were reported, as well as significant damage to the homes and businesses in the area. Cleanup from the storm lasted several weeks as the storm brought dangerous winds and hail. Mike Wilson, MNC News.
And by the way, the deadly tornado in Livonia, Michigan last week formed so quickly that the National Weather Service's radar never picked it up. That's why tornado sirens were not activated in the city. A South Bend man has pleaded guilty to a second offense, possession of narcotics, and was sentenced to 200 days in jail and nearly $200 in fines and costs. It's the 7th felony conviction for 47-year-old Reginald Williams, this time stemming from an incident that happened in Niles at the end of January. Williams also faces charges in Indiana. A teenager in Indianapolis has been charged with his father's murder.
Brandon Perry was last seen May 26th. His trailer was found May 27th on Indy's southeast side, and his truck was found 2 days later. Indy police started investigating Perry's disappearance on May 29th, and by Saturday, June 1st, officers arrested Perry's 17-year-old son, David. Detectives say they have physical evidence and video footage against David Perry, but he should still be considered innocent until proven guilty. He was officially charged June 5th with murder and dangerous possession of a firearm. Heather Starr, MNC News.
Well, during the 2023-24 academic year, a record number of students used Indiana's school choice program.
70,095. That's the number of students that used the program last school year. Indiana's school choice program is designed for parents to send their child to the school that best meets their needs.
This means parents can choose the school that best meets their students' needs, whether that's public school, private, homeschool, or other options.
That's Indiana House Speaker Todd Houston of Fisher speaking about the program on Indiana State House Republicans' weekly podcast. Parents can apply for these scholarships for the 24-25 school year before the September 1st deadline. Wes Woodward, Network Indiana.
And local lawmakers are encouraging high school students interested in work-based learning and credentials to apply for a career scholarship account.
Hoosier students in 10th, 11th, or 12th grades at a state-accredited public or private school can receive up to a $5,000 state-funded scholarship to pursue apprenticeships, applied learning experiences, work-based learning, and credentials attainment. The money can be used towards certain qualified expenses, including class expenses for programs, transportation, a driver's license, career coaching, credential examinations, apprentice equipment, and more. There are about 2,000 spots available for the next school year, and the deadline to apply for the Career Scholarship account is October 1st. Derek Decker, MNC News.
Partly sunny skies today, a little breezy with the wind out of the north and staying a little bit on the cooler side. High temperatures today only at 67. Tonight's going to be a chilly night. We'll see clear skies will drop all the way down to 43. But then for Tuesday, we do start to warm back up. Partly sunny, high temperatures back up around 75. We'll be back in the 80s by Wednesday. I'm WSBT 22 Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
You can get the top local news delivered to your email twice each day. To get signed up, go to 953mnc.com and click where it says on demand.
Podcasts by Federated Media.